Hello, thank you for tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Welcome to your main newscast. These are the top stories we're tracking. Government seeks international consultants to review Exxon studies for Kaieteur project. Guyana is still negotiating sales agreement to buy its own natural gas as company insists on finalized deal before going ahead with $900 million project. When will the CJIA spending stop? $23.3 million tender out to fix roof. Full court upholds decision to allow scrutiny of monies requested by constitutional agencies, and Haiti chief prosecutor calls for PM to be charged in president's killing. Oil experts to join region to craft energy transition policy, and man dies after pickup topples in Buck Hall. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Hello, hi.
Let me show you something lit. Get your free chats now with me. Tell them video and voice call. Discover and get, and that's not all. Cash and prices for all of us. It's exciting, it's fabulous. Translate, populate, locate, innovate, but shh. It's a secret, no need to keep it. You won't see me here again. 3, 2, 1. I'll see you in a bit. Download the app now for chat.
And now for the news in detail. The PPPC government is seeking 3 international consultants to review submissions by ExxonMobil for studies related to the Kaieteur project. According to the Ministry of Natural Resources invitation for individual consultancies, which was published yesterday, an international consultant is being sought to review and assess a block seismic and well injection study. In this regard, the Kaieteur Petroleum Production License, signed on September 30, 2020, states that ExxonMobil should complete an analysis of natural seismic activity and magnitude from events such as earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. The analysis is expected to consider the potential impact of the injection of fluids on such activities. The successful applicant is expected to provide support to the government in executing an assessment of the submissions the operator has made with respect to the block seismic activity study and its alignment with the approved terms of reference and international best practices. And moving on, the government of Guyana is forging ahead with a proposed gas-to-energy project. But among the requirements needed by ExxonMobil before it proceeds with its end of the commitments to the project are a few critical documents that need to be finalized. This includes a gas sales agreement, despite the fact that Vice President Barrett Jagdeo has on more than one occasion made several pronouncements on the matter, ranging from gas being provided free of cost to the fact that Guyana would not pay above market rates. Nonetheless, the agreement is among the prerequisites listed by ExxonMobil before going ahead with the project. According to a 2018 secret cabinet paper, the considerations on the part of the government that need to be communicated to ExxonMobil before it makes a final investment decision is the site location. This is in addition to submitting a draft gas sales agreement. And moving on. After expending more than $160 million, the PPPC administration is still pumping more money into the Chedi Jagan International Airport expansion project, with a $23.3 million tender now out to facilitate the rehabilitation of the existing roof at the country's main port of entry. Even though the Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgel, recently promised that the total cost of the project will not exceed $200 million, that cannot be guaranteed, as the project is currently a work in progress. As the country awaits the completion of this project, which falls way below expectations, taxpayers are still obligated to repay a loan of $138 million to China, which forms part of the contract sum. And now let's tell you, the full court, which comprises of Justice Brassington Reynolds and Sandil Kissoon, on Friday upheld the decision to allow for the scrutiny of monies requested by constitutional agencies. In upholding the decision, the court dismissed a notice of appeal and a notice of application filed for a number of conservatory orders. The actions were filed by, among others, APNU-AFC MP Ganesh Mahipal, Coretta MacDonald, General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Don Gardner, and First Vice President of the Guyana Public Service Union. Mahipal had joined the other persons to ask the court to preserve the changes made to the Fiscal Management and Accountability Amendment Act under former President David Granger. In other news, under the theme Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, facilitators of the inaugural International Energy Conference and Exposition Guyana yesterday formally launched the event aimed at bringing together not just industry experts and players with potential business partners, but also policymakers in order to shape a cohesive policy for the future development of the oil and gas resources, particularly in the Guyana Basin. This much was made clear by organizers yesterday. International Energy Inc.'s interim CEO, Ajini Abel, outlined that the conference will not only be focused on presentations that will provide a snapshot of the current energy landscape, but will also include several developmental opportunities and pathways that can lead to a prosperous and sustainable future for Guyana. And now let's tell you, a man who has since been identified as Damien Culpepper died after he lost control of a Toyota Hilux pickup, which toppled along the 49-kilometer Bockhall Road in Region 3 on Monday night. Investigators reported that the driver and 6 persons, including Culpepper and a woman identified as Big Auntie and her daughter, Zani, were inside the vehicle when the accident occurred, sometime between 20 hours 30 and 21 hours on Monday. The vehicle, driven by 24-year-old Zulfikar Budu, was heading into the interior at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Investigators said that the driver claimed that whilst ascending a hill, he drove into a huge pothole and lost control of the vehicle. As a result, the vehicle toppled once. And coming from Reuters in Havana, Haiti's chief public prosecutor has asked the judge overseeing the investigation into the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse to charge Prime Minister Ariel Henry as a suspect and ordered Migration Services not to let him leave the country. In a letter to Judge Gary Orlean, Prosecutor Bedford Claude said phone records showed Henry twice communicated with a key suspect in Moïse's killing on the night of the crime on July 7th. The suspect, a former Justice Ministry official whom Henry has publicly defended, is now on the run. Henry should be forbidden from leaving the national territory by air, sea, or road due to serious presumption relative to the assassination of the president, Claude wrote in a letter to the country's migration services. Now let's tell you that 5 more persons have died from COVID-19, taking Guyana's death toll to 692 since March 2020. This figure takes the death toll for this month so far to 67. Of the 5 deaths, the Ministry of Health reported that only 1 male from Region 4 was partially vaccinated. The other persons were unvaccinated. Another 135 people were infected over a 24-hour period, taking the overall number of infected persons to 28,234 since March of 2020. 31 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 149 people are in institutional isolation, 2,841 people are in home isolation, and 20 are in institutional quarantine. A total of 24,521 people have recovered to date after they tested positive for the virus. At this time, we now bring you the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated to, of course, as usual, being blind. Kanji Block campaign to emit hundreds of tons of poisonous gases. This was published in Kaieteur News September 12th. This oil has made us into monsters. We are killing our seas. We are destroying our environment. We are poisoning our atmosphere. The PPPC government is business as usual. Guyana's EPA is going about its own business. Clueless, spineless, useless. A real farce of an organization. What is this oil doing to us but making monsters of us? What will become of us when the oil is gone and Guyanese, other than the super elites, have nothing to show for it? With that, we've come to the end of today's main newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Stream